Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of the Happy Knitting Podcast. My name is Julia and I'm coming to you from the UK. Today is Friday, the 15th of November 2024, and I'm finally getting around to recording again, which it has been a while. It's just been sort of non-stop, but today is my day off. I've just had a lovely brunch with my husband Kai, and now I get to enjoy a quiet house while my son is at school. So, what am I wearing? Maybe we should start with that. I am wearing the Go Dynamo, which is the latest West Knits Mystery Knit Along, and I have been wearing this a lot. This has been really, really great in terms of the size, in terms of the coziness. If you don't remember, and I talked about this in detail last episode, I chose not to do the additional border or the optional border. I just did the regular one, and I also added in loads of different kinds of mohair. I think I added 3 different colors, and it's just made the most perfect size for me. Like it's really, really wearable, and with the mohair fluff, it just got such a nice warm and like nice texture. So I've been really, really happy with this, and I have been wearing it loads. And I am also wearing, you can't see it because of my hair, I am wearing my Winter Speech cardigan by Andrea Mowry, who is Drea Renee Knits. And honestly, this is probably my second most worn garment. I finished this, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. Let's say 3. I don't remember. My son was pretty small. And I have been wearing this so much. And you can see, I mean, there's a little bit of fluff. But generally speaking, this yarn, which is the Sheepsoft DK by Laxton's here in the UK, it's just held up really, really well. So if you look at the cables, like they look perfect. I don't think anyone would be able to tell that this has been worn for many seasons, and I wear this all the time. I wear it to the office. Yeah, it's just been really, really nice. It's not the softest yarn. I feel like it's softened up a bit. But generally speaking, it's just been a really, really nice one to wear without sort of having to worry about it. And what I like about this cardigan is that it just doesn't fall off the shoulders. So lots of cardigans, I think, tend to do that, especially if they're raglans. But this one is like a bottom-up, dropped shoulder construction. And I really like it. In fact, because my friend is making one now, I am considering the possibility of making another one for myself. Yeah, I think it's an option. We'll see when it happens. But I remember with the cables, I mean, cables always take a bit of time, but these ones were quite memorizable. So it wasn't too bad in terms of having to look at the pattern all the time, and I really enjoyed it. So maybe I should make another one. So that is what I'm wearing today. And before we get into the knitting, should I show you an embroidery FO, just because that's the only FO I have for this week? So I'm not sure if I told you about this, but I, a while ago, got this kit on sale from Oh So Beautiful, which is a UK-based company making these kinds of embroidery kits. And this was my first time using them. I am not sponsored. I bought this with my own money. I was just thinking I would like to make some embroidery gift for my mum for Christmas, because they're moving house as well, and I'm not sure how she feels about it, embroidery, but we'll see. She's getting one, and I have finished it. So I have not finished it, clearly. The kit comes with like padding and stuff to make it look really pretty and finished in the end, and I think I've lost it. So I will make it, probably just like cut out a disc and stuff it in the back, and it will be fine. But the stitching is finished, let's just say that. And I think it's really pretty. I'm really happy with how it came out. There's lots of different stitches in there. I also improvised a little bit. And because these kits, they have the pattern printed onto the fabric, it's just really mindless. So I've been basically stress stitching while watching news and political podcasts and all of that sort of stuff, and just stitching away, and it's been making me really happy, and I may have more embroidery already planned. But yeah, this is my only finished object sort of for this week, and I finished it yesterday. So that is one Christmas present done as well. What should have been a finished object are these socks. So you may remember this is the zebra yarn by Felt Fusion. Don't know the colorway. I talked about it last week. I've been knitting a lot of socks. And this one is so close. I am on the Toji creases. But I didn't manage to finish it last night. We've had a couple of sort of late nights and I've been really feeling it in the morning. So I was sensible and I went to bed. But these are almost done, and probably I won't show them again next week just because I will simply add a toe and then this pair of socks will be finished. And these will be for me. As for, no, actually, I'm lying. I was going to say as for all of my socks, I'm doing 64 stitches. But because this sock base is slightly thicker, I think it's only got about 365 meters rather than your usual sort of 400-ish. I went down to 60 stitches. So this is a 60 stitch sock. Say that 3 times fast. With my regular 2.25 millimeter needles, short row heel, all of that. And yeah, they are done. Almost done. Well, we'll just count them as done. I will finish them today. So that is one sock project. And then, if you haven't been able to tell, I've been on a bit of a sock kick, which I think is because I've been stress knitting again. It's just been really, really busy. So what am I knitting? I am knitting more socks. So I have finished one finished sock, and the other one, I don't know how this happened, but I've already turned the heel as well. So I've just finished the heel in a contrast color, and now I just need to zip down the foot, and then I'll have another finished pair of socks. So yeah, socks everywhere, and these have been knit out of my recent obsession, which is Fab Funky Fibers yarn. So this is one of their tags. I think this may actually be the correct one. This one says Adventures Over the Rainbow, but I got this and a couple of other self-striping, self-patterning sock yarns from Fab Funky Fibers as part of a lucky dip. So I think it was quite affordable. I think a 50-gram ball may have been something like £12. Not affordable, but affordable for a hand-dyed, indie-dyed self-striping yarn, I should say. And I've mentioned many times how I tend to get 50 grams of self-striping, which makes it much more affordable than buying full skeins. And then I just use contrast colors for the heels and toes and cuffs. And then I can make pretty large socks for myself. Like I have big feet. I have a U size 42. And still I have managed to eke out a full-sized sock with these contrast colored additions. So for the contrast colors, I am using Filcolana Aweta, which is definitely my favorite yarn for, I mean, I love it for socks in general, but especially for heels, toes, and cuffs. It comes in a million colors, and yeah, I really like these. And with this skein, I was quite lucky because with a 50-gram skein, you can't necessarily match color repeats. But I wound it up and divided it into 2 cakes, and it just so worked out that the 50-gram skein essentially had 2 25-gram color repeats in it. So I managed to make these match, which was complete luck. But yeah, I'm really excited that it worked out. So I will have a beautiful matching pair of rainbow socks soon, because we always need more rainbow socks, right? So yeah, that is another new whip that hopefully won't be a whip for too much longer. And then, to stay on the topic of new whips, I also started another Musselburgh hat. So you may remember the red one I knit quite recently. I've been wearing that to death. I actually wore it this morning. It's quickly becoming my favorite hat. So I decided to make another one using mini skeins. And I have a couple of mini skeins from a club that I wasn't sure about because all of them were very sort of brown colors. And I'm not a brown person. I think 2 months in a row. And this is from Loom Yarns in the UK. Like they're beautiful minis, but they weren't really my color scheme. But what I decided to do is I would just add some pink. So I picked the browns that I like the most. These are the most like solid ones. There were also some that were beautifully speckled, but I wasn't sure if I wanted that effect. And then I added some pink mini skeins and a cream from Black Elephant Yarns, because I bought a bunch of their mini skeins on sale, I think last New Year's. And I'm just making, I think, 10 row stripes for my Muskelbra hat. So this is where we're at. It's still at the awkward phase where you can't really show it super well because it's scrunched up on the needles. But yeah, it reminds me a bit of like hot chocolate and pink marshmallows. So to me, this is giving like a winter, Christmas, holiday vibe. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the stripes throughout the whole hat, or I might just do these thick stripes half the way and then do either like helical knitting, or like I was thinking I could use the Ficolana Alweta in this as well and just do like 1 row stripes, maybe with one color, and then switch to another, or I might just do like a solid. I haven't decided yet. But theoretically, I don't have to keep going with these stripes for the whole length of the hat, and then I could have 2 different styles. I haven't decided yet. And as per usual, I am doing 3mm needles with sock yarn. And what else? For my last one, I did the adult large. For this one, I'm doing the adult medium. I feel like, I hope it's okay. I feel like I need an in-between size. But we'll just see how it goes. We'll see what I prefer, and I'm hoping to make more of these hats in the future because I do really like wearing them. So the adult large that I have, it's really comfortable, but it's not snug. So I'm not sure if a snugger one will be better or if I prefer the looser one, but we will see. So that is another new work in progress. And obviously this is really, really easy, simple knitting, which is nice. And then, should we talk about some garments as well? So I haven't worked on my, Nebula. But on this, I have finally gotten stitch stoppers because I was just stressing everyone, including myself, out by dropping all the stitches all the time. This is the Kleiva sweater by Sandnes Garn, using Sandnes Garn yarn, and this is my first time using one of their patterns as well. So this is the Kleiva ladies sweater, and once again, oh, there it is. I've got the pattern. There we go. So this is the pattern. You get this little booklet and you also get a chart. And I've mentioned before how this, I'm really enjoying it. It's not necessarily beginner friendly, but I am really glad I am making it. This is pattern number 241004. And last time I was still on the yoke, but I have since split for the sleeves. So this is where we're at. It's kind of hard to show somehow. I'm not really sure why. But I have split for the sleeves and I'm now working on the body. I've done 2 inches maybe on the body. But obviously now that I'm not working the sleeves anymore, the rows are getting quite a lot shorter. And also now I can read the pattern more rather than having to refer back to the chart, because I don't have to keep figuring out like the increased stitches, the raglan stitches, all of that. So this is becoming a lot more easy to work on now, which is great. It's already feeling really heavy, but I think it should be fine. I think I have 8 50-gram balls of the yarn that I'm using, which is Tin Pear Gint, also by Sandnes Garn. This is colorway 2523, which is one of their tweed ones. And then I don't have the black one with me, but the black is Bristol Grey or Bristol Black. And I really like them. So yeah, I have made some progress on this. Since splitting for the sleeves, I've sort of put it down, but I will pick it back up because I think it'll be very, very pretty. And I still haven't dared to try this on, but it should be fine. It should be fine. It's just a matter of how much positive ease you want. And I think I chose to have a little bit less. So I'm doing a size small because I don't want this to be like a massively oversized ski jumper. And this one is very, very oversized. So yeah, that is my Kleiva ladies sweater. And there's also a men's version and a kids version if you're interested. And then I have also unexpectedly made some progress on this. So this is the Rebel cardigan by Anke Strick. I will try to go through these quickly because I talk about them every week. But I have made some progress again. So I think last time I spoke to you, I had worked, 3-4 inches off splitting the sleeves. So I have added considerable length this week. And of course there's hair on it. And I have tried it on the other day, and the fit of this is perfect. I was really sort of hoping, crossing my fingers and expecting this to have a really good fit, and it definitely does. Like, it's just the way it fits. It's really difficult to show you. But it is a beautiful construction, and it just, again, it's one of those cardigans that I don't think will fall off my shoulders. It's really clever, and as you can hopefully see, it's got a 1x1 ribbed front. So basically, frontal view is all ribbing, and then the back is in stockinette. And it just falls and looks really, really nice. I really like it. So again, this is one of those, just have to keep going row by row. The rows are quite long. It's fingering weight yarn. And it's a lot of purling. I would rather steek it, but steeking wouldn't give the same effect in terms of the edging and everything. But in a way, the purling is annoying me so much. I'm considering just making a really long 1x1 ribbed hem at some point, because I like the rhythm more. I don't mind knitting ribbing actually. I like knitting like ribbed hats. And I know some people would never do that. But yeah, the endless purling is just getting on my nerves. But I do want this to be quite a bit longer, so I'm trying to stick through, and trying it on every now and then definitely helps, because I know it'll be a really, really good cardigan to have once it's done. So yes, that is what I have been working on these last, God knows, 10 days, 12 days, 15 days. And I have also been spinning, which sort of ties in with my acquisitions. So I'll do the spinning first, but it will make sense in a second. I have spun maybe my favorite skein of yarn that I have spun in a long time. This is fiber from Spin Jones, who is one of my favorite indie sort of fiber dyers and like makers and stuff in the UK. And this is on her Panthers Arenas base, which I really enjoy. I think the Panthers Arenas is a breed that is sort of a cross between Corriedale and something. Merino? I've forgotten. I'm sorry. I will look it up and tell you next time. But it's one of those sheep breeds that is really, like, it's woolly, but it's not too woolly. I like Corriedale because it has a bit of like grip to it, but it's still really nice and soft. And I mean, these colors, just look at them. And for this one, I did a proper fractal spin. So this is a 2-ply spun on my Ashford E Spinner 3, sort of semi-worsted style. And when I say fractal spin, what I mean is that one half of the fiber I spun in sort of very long color repeats, and then the other half I split up many times to make the color repeats much shorter. And what that means is when you ply it together, it will, you get the barber pulling, but it's somewhat controlled, and like the color changes should sort of be quite regular. And I love it. I love it so much. And how does this tie into my acquisitions? Well, so I went, this is a fingering weight, almost a fingering weight to be fair. This is, I think, 380 meters, just in case you were interested. And I went to Make Joy last Saturday, which was a yarn show in Woolwich in London. And I found out about this very last minute and convinced my colleague to go with me, who's also a knitter. So we went down and it was so fun. And I got very inspired because everyone was wearing shifty things. So you may know the Shifty sweater by Andrea Mowry, which I have made and love very, very much. And she has a shift cowl. She has all kinds of shift patterns, and they were just everywhere. And I fell in love with one booth, which was the booth that had the Walcott yarns. And they had this yarn, which is Walcott Opus. And I can't pronounce things today, I'm sorry. And then they have their own spin cycle colorway, and they had a shift cowl made out of that combination. So they used the solid yarn sort of as one color to save on money as well, because the spin cycle is extremely expensive. And then they used a spin cycle with it. So I was very, very tempted to do that, but it's so expensive. So what I decided to do is I decided to just spin some yarn that is very similar. And look, won't this be the most perfect shift cowl? I am so excited about this. I mean, I could do loads of things with this. I love this very much, and I could see myself making a muscle bra hat out of this as well. But I think, let me know what you think, but I think this will be perfect. So yeah, let me know if you agree, but I think this may need to happen. And yeah, I'm quite proud of myself for actually, I bought things with a plan. I also destashed ahead of the event, which is good, because it means even though I bought yarn, I destashed more than I bought. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, this Opus yarn is just beautiful. It is 70% Argentinian merino, 30% baby alpaca. And this one has 350 meters per 100 grams. So this should match perfectly. So yes, I am very, very excited to cake this up and start a shift cowl very soon. Maybe I'll finish all of my socks and then I'll do this. We will see. And now you see how this ties into acquisitions. With this fiber, with the Pantas Arenas, Spin Jones recently had a sort of mini box or something where you get 12 225 gram little, what's it called, pieces of roving of all of her colorways. So essentially you get like these little mini spins, and I thought I might do that for Advent, but instead, like, the books arrived. It was really cute. I really liked all the little like pieces of fluff, and I decided to start spinning. And I'm spinning them in the same way because I really like this yarn that this made. So I'm spinning all of them roughly a sort of heavy fingering weight, 2-ply, semi-worsted. And I finished the first one yesterday, which is this color, and I really like it. It's very sort of like, is it lime? Is it olive? It's sort of in between, and I really, really like it. And lo and behold, the other skein of Opus that I got is this. This I just fell in love with. It was just so lovely and bright, and my colleague, she's very much into this color, and I think she's rubbing off on me. And I obviously, this is all I have of this colorway, but now I just keep thinking, do I need a full skein of this to make another shift cowl? I mean, probably I don't, but isn't this also a really fun combination? I am tempted. I will say I am quite tempted, but I won't make any decisions on this now. I also think this would be a really fun cabled hat just by itself. Like, it's just such a fun color. Like, yes, it looks a bit like a high-vis vest, but maybe that's also because I do a fair bit of like health and safety at work, so maybe it just reminds me of that, hopefully. But yeah, I love this. This is colorway Key Lime Pie, yes. And this one is Love Potion, and they're just so fun. Yeah, I love them. And if you do want to see more acquisitions, I will show you the couple of other skeins that I got at the show, but I appreciate not everyone likes that. So if you're not interested, this is probably the end of the real knitting, handspun, whatever content. So I will see you next week. But if you do want to stay, I will just quickly show you what else I got. So my plan was to not buy sweater quantities, but like, if anything, like, just get a single skein of something to make accessories, because I do like accessories, and then often Like I either have sock yarn or I have sweater quantities of things, but I don't want to break into those sweater quantities for a single skein project. So these two open skeins sort of fit the bill because I will make something beautiful out of them, but I don't need a sweater. But I did sort of fail because I was looking at yarn from Kettle Yarn Co. So this is Kettle Yarn Co. I saw her yarn 5 years ago, which is crazy, at the Oslo Yarn Festival and chatted to her then, but didn't get any. So I was thinking I might, because she has really nice sort of interesting bases. And this is her Northium British Blueface Leicester BFL. So it's 100% British wool, and this is a fingering weight. And it has a really nice feel to it. I think it's a 2-ply. And I really like this. And she had a sweater in this that just looked and felt really nice as well. Like I thought it's great yarn for color work. So I had this skein in my hand and also this, which I think she used as like a base color. And I thought they were really, really pretty. And then I was chatting to her and she put a skein with them, which I just wouldn't have thought to combine. But she put this with them. And yes, in hindsight, this is very much my color palette, but it just didn't click in my head. And as soon as she put them together, I just thought they are so pretty. This one is coming across very neon. It is very bright, but it's not crazy bright. I think my camera doesn't like it. But isn't this just beautiful? So I was going to do something color work with these, but then now I can't stop thinking about like a striped sweater as well. So yes, I failed with my color, no sweater quantities. But yeah, I think they're really, really beautiful. They're all the same base. I mean, they would make very nice color work as well. But I'm very happy with these. And then this should have been it. This should have been my haul. But I got influenced, and I think all of us picked up a skein of sock yarn as well, because you always need sock yarn, from Bona Yarns, who's another indie dyer that I've followed for a long time, but I've never actually bought from. And they had lots of really fun speckles. And I mean, this to me just screamed like Barbie speckles. It's called Meaty Bouquet, and it's just a 75-25 merino nylon sock yarn. But it's just so fun. I mean, this is the sort of thing. Do I need more speckled pink yarn? Probably not. But I also love it. And I don't even know, do I want to make really long socks out of this? Like, not knee-high socks, but really long sort of sticking out of your boots kind of socks? Or do I want this to be a Musselburgh hat? Because it would be cute. So let me know what you think. But I picked this up as well, and I am very, very excited. So yeah, that is my purchase from Make Joy. And like I said, I've been destashing a fair bit of yarn as well, which has felt really good. Because while I don't necessarily mind having my large stash, I want it to be basically everything that I love. And I do have some things in there where my taste just changed over the years. Or I think especially back in the day when I was even maybe still studying, which was a long time ago, sometimes I would pick something up on sale, and now I wouldn't necessarily pick that up anymore. So I've been destashing and instead filling my yarn with things that really make my heart just like jump with joy. So yeah, that's that. And the show was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It was the perfect size for me because I don't love those massive, massive shows where either you end up spending too much money or it just becomes too sort of frenzied and crazy. And this one was just perfect. Like they had a big, spacey coffee shop downstairs. And then I don't know how many vendors they would have had, maybe less than 20. So there was enough to look and see interesting bits and chat to everyone, but it wasn't so overwhelming. So I would highly recommend that if it happens again next year. Thank you to the person who said hi as well. That was really, really nice. And yeah, so my inspiration at the moment is at such a high level because I just saw everyone wearing these beautiful hand knits. Like I said, I want to make more shifty things. I would like to make another shifty sweater, which again, I've said for a long time. Maybe it will actually happen. I'm even considering with my Handspun box, once I spin all of my little pieces of yarn, fiber into yarn, I'll have 12 of these 25-gram hanks of Handspun. And some of them will be very variegated and other ones are more sort of solid. But maybe I could turn them into a shifty sweater. So yeah, all the shifty things are on my mind. And yeah, there were so many beautiful shawls and garments, and it's just the inspiration that you get from those events. I really like it, and I don't go to many yarny events, so that was definitely a highlight for me. So yeah, that is basically all that I've been up to. It's been otherwise just very busy with life and work and school, and I had some like doctor's appointments, which luckily I think we should be done with that now. What else was going on? Yeah, just a busy time of year. Like everything is fine, but I think I've just been stress knitting, which explains all the socks, which explains all the relatively plain projects. And I'm hoping to come out of that a little bit now. So I have today off, and then tomorrow Kai is taking my son to Brighton for the day. And everyone's like, oh, so what are you going to do? But of course, I'm just gonna sit at home and knit. And I'm really, really excited to craft my little heart out and maybe binge watch some Grey's Anatomy or something. And yeah, I just want to do all the crafting. I might cast on some new things. So hopefully I'll have something interesting to show to you next time. So thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely weekend ahead. I hope wherever you are in the world that you are safe and healthy and happy and have some yarn to play with. And I shall talk to you very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Happy knitting. Bye.